She still looks so odd. Magic armor lady with excessive boob shine and also antler head. Alright, let's review the clue again. To seek the White Forge in the north. Shit. Reach the old valley in the west. The cold wind from the south. And bore our parents east. Good luck. Let's just keep poking around. Not worth agonizing over until we've completed the map, because sometimes it's just a key or something. Ah. We have this one. Look at us.
Blasphemy.
That's not nice. Despite the years of weathering, where the helmets on the other armors in the room are plain and lusterless, this one is brighter and more reflective. The armor has been posed bracing behind a broad shield, thick and sturdy as a city gate. Is it? You got some baby gates around here. A circular depression carved into the stone sits below the relief of a dwarven warrior. The armor-clad figure stands over a defeated enemy. Inspect. One hole punctures the bottom of the circular depression. Its edges seem worn, as if something had scraped against them. Above the depression, stepping on the corpse of a vanquished foe, a dwarf holds his own helmet high in sign of victory. Any traps in here? A circular depression carved into the stone sits below the relief of a dwarven warrior. The armor-clad figure stands guard against an unseen enemy. Two holes puncture the bottom of the circular depression. Their edges seem worn, as if something had scraped against them. Above the depression, a dwarf appears to be ready to fend against a charge, holding a shield high and sword low. Before the attack, after the attack, I suppose? There's a few of these. A circular depression carved in stone sits below the relief of a dwarven warrior. The armor-clad figure is charging ahead against an unseen enemy. Three holes puncture the bottom of the circular depression. Their edges seem worn as if something had scraped against them. Above the depression, a dwarf appears ready to charge, holding shield low and sword high. The same description as the last one, right? Wasn't this one about an enemy that's defeated already? Yeah, vanquished foe. One hole, two holes, three holes. These two had similar descriptions. That one's about a vanquished enemy. A hole bores into the stone. Its edges are blackened and gritty with soot. Night Shroud. One-handed mace. Binds with rogue or priest? Okay. Specific. Huh. 10% chance to cast blind on hit or crit. 3 DR bypass. Exceptional. Shadows ooze and pool around you, filling your mind with memories of furtive expeditions, clandestine meetings, and the traffic of secrets. You hear the whispers of the men and women who struck, and survived by the power of this weapon. You're the only rogue we have, necessarily.
These are Abidon's treasures.
Oh. Are about to be attacked for what we've done. Oh, those weapons look glowy. I think something's about to happen. Let's maybe save first. Oh.
It'll be good to
Wow.
rest.
I really thought they were just going to come to life and attack me, honestly. That came as a surprise.
Right here. You gotta see this.
Oh. Interesting.
Tight to your body.
Ah, how did I end up selecting you?
Go.
You seem to be not particularly excellent at this whole, you know, checking out the trap without setting it off thing. You failed. Did she walk into the other one while she was trying to go between them or something?
You profane.
Ah. These traps seem to be triggered by not the spot that they say that they are at. Kind of a problem. Okay. Well.
Sacred flower.
I don't even want the mace. Oh, there they go, just wandering through. Yep. It's like the AI wanted to die. Whoopsie. This is likely going to require a bit of a different approach. So we'll give that a go. I guess when I loaded this, I did load back the save that already had it. Is it necessary to even steal this? I mean, it's cool. The Night Shroud. They're obviously long gone at this point. So I take it that there are two I think there are two traps on the floor.
I will walk unseen.
There may be something you can do to disable each one of them by using these pedestals. I'm not sure that I can do anything with them now. Maybe if I had found something else first.
Right here.
Wow. Really hard to get away from that. Although that time when I tried to run away, I accidentally clicked on another character, which is not helpful. Wow. That's not easy. I'm just trying to trigger them without actually getting them stuck like that. Whoa. I don't think I realized that the fire trap even came from the background like that. Neat. Yeah, obviously my goal here is to try to see if I can trigger them all on purpose. Just for starters.
You profane Abidon's sacred.
I don't think they like me. Ah. Also, I'm gonna go on a limb here. It doesn't seem like the traps get triggered by them. That's usually how it goes, is they're team specific. Alright, well, let's give this a go. Oh, they're running away. They lost track of her just like that. That's kind of funny. Alright, she's probably not gonna get that stealth attack at this point. Still, we can figure this out if we're careful. Please, all of you, get rid of this guy that's attacking my priests. There we go. There we go. Gave me an interesting little problem to deal with.
Right here.
Now for me, one question would be, did any of them get left behind? There's still one of them waiting out here? Nope. It's really hard to... Wow. Wow, that projectile moves fast. Alright, at this point I've straight up almost lost you.
Sure.
Maybe I should have used Adair or someone.
Hey.
Just to take it. I kept giving myself this idea that maybe I could escape the projectile before it hit me. That is something that largely proved to be incorrect. Okay. It appears to be safe. Well, after what I've done, looks like we're gonna need a bit of a nap. Security reports that cutthroat bandits will attack the stronghold in 3 days. Damn it. Leave me alone. Come on, man.
Right.
I'm in the middle of an icy vacation in a different land. I don't have time for domestic matters.
I will walk unseen.
Where are we getting to right now?
Hold them off! Move!
Oop.
Obsidian skiers, they're coming.
Is this a vision of a past? Okay. It's hard to tell which ones are visions of the past and which ones are actually like current ghosts that are going to attack me.
For the battery!
We're outnumbered.
I bet there's someone in here. Nice big open room.
Listen, you hear that?
Shh. No one's here. Can't tell. Are they actually going to react to seeing me? They seem to be sticking around. Erasmur's letter. Something has hastily scrawled across this page. It reads, Floru, we're trapped here, but I take heart in knowing you're safe below. When this ends, oops, take whatever you can carry and leave for Fort Bone Picker at once. I got a bone to picker with you. Take our nephew if you can, it's not safe here. Keep this with you. Your love, Erasmur. The other side looks like a poem, but it's obscured with dirt.
Huh?
The iron and copper deposits are splattered with blood. Yeah, so whatever came here seems to have been a surprise, or at least something that they couldn't handle. I'm not sure if their previous disagreements were particularly relevant.
Are we safe here?
Quiet.
Bitter spirits. They might be bitter because they're dead. Just going on a limb here. They could be elemental spirits or whatever. The kind that were never really alive. Ooh. A decent chunk of constitution right there. One of you guys probably doesn't even have a waste item yet, right? Ah. You've got one endurance per 3 seconds. It's not great. You've got dexterity. Ah. Ah, your only constitution bonuses from your racial. So you are ready to have this. Good. Cool. Now constitution is their highest stat. Go figure. The power of random belt I found. Good find.
Whew, good thing I sold most of my jewelry.
I'm not sure if I fully get why she keeps saying that.
Hurry! We can hide here!
How'd that work out?
They're going to come for us here, and
I'm guessing not well. This dwarf's remains lie on the floor, covered in dirt and swathed in cobwebs. Essence drifts nearby, hanging in the stale air like dust motes. Reach out to the essence. It takes a little additional effort, but you manage to gather the floating essence to you. You work your way into it and suddenly find yourself immersed in the soul's memory. The shock hits you with an almost physical force. Your heart hammers within your chest. Other Parkrun rush past you, retreating or attacking. It's gotten hard to tell. You're running along a dark tunnel, pushing your overtaxed body as far as it will go. Your heart pounds harder with each step. Concussive thumps echo above you. Each one seems to resound in your heaving chest. You pass the mines and reach the main hall. It's packed full of shouting, shoving, panicking dwarves. Even if you could reach the door at the other end without getting trampled or beaten to death first, something in the fever of the crowd tells you it's already locked. The tunnel behind you rings with screams. You had another dial for the door to the forge below, but it's locked in the workshop. On the other side of the barricade, the sounds of battle grow closer. You race to the mines, ignoring the building pressure in your chest. You scurry deeper into the mines, losing track of your past. Tunnels seem to close around you. You stumble and fall. You try to pull yourself up, but your arm is dull with pain. Even though you've stopped, you can't quite catch your breath. For the first time, you notice a squeezing agony in your chest. Darkness gathers around you. You pull back from the memory, gulping for air. Search the body. A key glints in the dirt next to the corpse's femur. As you examine it, the nearby spirits grow restless, growling and fidgeting. Take the key. You push the bones aside and grab the key. As you do, you hear screams of horror and fury. The dead of Durgan's battery converge on you, their unnatural teeth and claws bared. Yep, that's what I thought. I didn't think they were going to be very happy about that, but that's exactly what we're looking for. We need oh god, and they're all around. Yep. I was walking deeper and deeper into a dungeon full of enemies, and they were all going to turn on me the moment that I had awakened them. I was wondering about that. They kept sticking around. I'm used to them vanishing. So when they started sticking around, I knew something different was happening. The skeleton's ribcage has been smashed into fragments. So something was happening whatever the enemy was coming after them, and they could hear it come. They could hear it coming, but they ran for the door and it was locked. A betrayal, a failure. I'm not really sure.
Stop them!
I'll keep an eye out.
They seem happy that I'm here. Oh boy. Yeah, they're very familiar ghosts, at least. Unfortunately for me, they're fucking spirits now, not vessels. So, my one AoE isn't gonna help a ton, but generally speaking, this isn't an enemy type that's usually much of a threat. Okay, wow. Wow. The Wraith over here? Eder has never taken that kind of damage before. That's remarkable. Crit and stuck and hit. Hit. Eder got like heavily focused. He's always been my unkillable tank. I have to see what I can do about this situation. Hopefully I can get to the heal on him before he just dies, like right now. Alright, that's some healing. It's a start. Let's try to pump up his DR. And he's stunned. So much for that. Still, yeah, there we go. Eder is healthy again. We're good. What is happening? Wow. Wow, you've been stuck spammed. There's so many stuck effects on you at the same time. That's remarkable. We're most... Oh, there it goes. There goes our monk. Yeah, he was a melee-only character that was completely paralyzed at that point. We're good. Wow. Oh, a bit of mind control at the end just to really muddy the waters. Ooh. What? The party gained 792 damage, experience, I mean. Wait, so I thought you on... It doesn't say anything about a quest updating. Whoa. Party gained 288, 186. It's a bunch of experience spikes. Why did we get so much experience? Is that just the bestiary progress? The battery siren? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess that answers a question. I wasn't sure if that was real experience or not. I saw a reference to this bestiary progress. This idea that you're making progress in your bestiary to unlock more codex entries. And it was ranked as experience, and it's like how much you need in order to learn what each one is. But as far as I knew, you get no experience from combat, so I didn't know what that meant. But I wonder if it's... I wonder if instead you get experience from combat, but only until you max out the bestiary of each enemy. And then once you've maxed out the bestiary, those enemies are no longer worth experience. That would make it so like the first few fights against each enemy are worth experience. I don't know. All I know is a lot of people just leveled up. God damn. Yeah, we're already like 1,000 past the requirement. Like that was such a weirdly big spike. Huh. Hello, protagonist. I was trying to get my way up to 7, right, for the DR. Praises. All allied weapons get nice little bit of burning damage. Defense against prone. Bonus concentration, damage reduction. I'm getting really I'm getting really distracted here. These I had headphones that died out on me, and so I got new ones, and the left ear keeps popping. I think I'm coming to the conclusion. I think that the wire might be loose, which is really unfortunate because it's just a hassle of things that you buy don't work out. Anyway. Increased 10 deflection is alright, not incredible. Not the 25% burn is necessarily incredible either. I am pretty attached to my ridiculous burn ability. This is a good defensive ability to have, though. I think it's good to have some defensive things. I could have alternate chants that I switch to, for example, when I get to a roadblock of difficulty where I'm like, this is a really big, tough, scary enemy, and they're immune to fire damage, and I really need to have some kind of helpful stuff to keep my party going, and so on. How big is my chant area again? It's pretty big. So that's a pretty big chunk of people getting bonus deflection, for example. Even could be considered as being something to alternate in my current chant. As an option. Like, you could be... Everyone in my team gets to deflection, and then scary fire happens, for example, as a different option. Then you can also have like a specifically defensive one. 10 fortitude, 10 will, 10 deflection on loop. Going back and forth could be kind of neat. There's a few different balances here we could strike. Bump bump. Endurance is usually pretty easy to level up. I'm still splitting the difference on him a bit. Ooh, it's time to master a spell. Oh, once per encounter. Now I can do it for a level 2 spell. Ooh. That's awful tempting. It's not very strong these days though, is it? I've always liked Iconic Projection. It's just kind of a cool, exciting spell. You throw out this slow-moving projectile that heals every ally and damages every enemy. That's just kind of inherently appealing, no matter what. I've liked that idea. I think it bounces. No, I'm thinking of a different projectile that bounces, I think. Like, that was always a promising thing about that. But then there's some other options. Yeah, being able to cast a spell for free every match would be nice. Yeah, I don't like this one because it's a heal around your caster, and it's also not a big heal. In general, the priests are way less strong at healing than I would expect them to be. Or at least he is, the only one I really have as an example. Ooh. This is do a bunch of burn damage on somebody, and then reduce their deflection. Decent chunk of burn damage for a level 2 spell, too. And reduced deflection just makes them easier to kill. Daze your enemies. Immune to sicken and weakening. This is a knockdown seal. A very small heal. I think the offensive spell is probably the next thing I'm tempted to do. A decent little spike of burn, but then a real big debuff of their deflection. But that's versus will. So you want to go for somebody that has a lower will, but you can help focus somebody down. It's a bit more of an offensive cast. Yeah. That seems pretty powerful. Guy's got one more thing on his per encounter bar. Isn't that nice? Maneja. I've already reached the survival score, so I could keep going down athletics. Yeah, because it gives you a better and better second wind, which I use a lot on her because she's not super durable. So I rely somewhat heavily on her personal second wind and also her heal over time that she has as a barbarian. Oh boy. Blooded. Bonus to damage for as long as her health's below. Blip. Don't like that one. Hit fortitude instead of deflection to fortitude is lower. Is a neat one. Wild sprint. She has so many cool ones, I remember. Like this just passively sickens people. Like what a crazy effect. All attributes down by 1, fortitude and will reduced by 10. It's not a massive ability, but it's neat. Whenever she's stationary. I like the attack speed, but it's really specific to say that she has to down 2 enemies herself. I think that means she needs to have the killing blow. And when 2 enemies are already down, we're kind of already winning. That's often the case, at least. A vengeful defeat exacts a final revenge when barbarians reduce to 0 endurance, causing him or her to perform an instant carnage full attacks on everyone in range. Just everyone within 2 meters just takes a big hit. That's pretty funny. So spiteful. Heart of Fury. The barbarian swings viciously in a lightning-quick flurry, taking on all comers. Each equipped weapon attacks every nearby enemy, doing extra damage and inflicting carnage if applicable. Once per encounter. Just a it's like a whirlwind attack, basically, that barbarians often have in games. Just spin and hit everybody. Eye of the Storm. Barbarian cannot be engaged by enemies that are more than 1 level lower than him or her. It does not prevent the barbarian from being attacked in melee. So lower levels people just can't. They just can't engage. That means that disengagement's not a mechanic. Huh. Bloodthirst. After killing an enemy, the barbarian's recovery is waived, allowing them to attack again immediately. I think I'm most tempted just to have another ability. Heart of Fury is appealing. But brute force just makes her hits better. Yeah. Being able to target a different stat with your attacks conditionally, based on whichever one's the better target, is just a really good thing to have. A lot of these. Armored Grace. Reduced armor speed penalties, very good. Just become immune to frighten and terrify. %50 of all damage taken by friends is redirected to the caster as raw damage. That's both impressive and dangerous, I would suppose. Right? Because like a lot of these he is the biggest tank, so like that could be a huge ability to avoid a lot of incoming damage from my allies, but I think that might be what really breaks him finally. fighter refuses to be vanquished. After being knocked out, the fighter stands back up with a portion of his or her endurance healed and temporary bonuses to all defenses and damage reductions. Every encounter he can get back up. That's a hell of a skill. Revive with over 100 endurance, plus 5 DR, and a bunch of other things for 30 seconds. Damn. It's gonna be hard to beat that as an option. A cone of prone attack. Yes. It is per rest though. Guardian stance. Other people get 10 deflection, I lose 10 accuracy. Bummer. Bonus accuracy. This is great. This has become hits and bonus minimum damage. There's really good abilities in here. Still, once per encounter, get back up is really, I think that's hard to beat. I don't know how you beat that. It seems like it'd be a hell of a time. Okay, we've done it. We've done it. Didn't even take that long this time. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Over time, we'll learn all these talents. Memorize them a bit more. The iron and copper deposits are spattered with blood. I guess actually that's why the leveling up went fast, is that none of those were talents. It's actually whenever I have to go back to that talent screen is when it takes a bit longer, because it's just a lot to remember. An empty minecart sits at the mouth of this tunnel, waiting to be loaded up with ore. Despite the condition of some of the surrounding tunnels, the cart and tracks appear to be intact. There's a lever at the base of the tracks. Look inside the cart. The cart is empty, if dusty and patchy with rust. Large enough that a group of kith might fit inside, uncomfortably. Huh. I bet that's wildly dangerous. Can't we just walk the tracks instead of... Oh, instead of just hopping on the minecart? Seems like a big risk.
Let's go.
Whoop. Oh. What was that? Somebody else just level up too? What did it do? Gon's share heals Mineha for 8 endurance. It did a backstab sneak attack? The ghost that I'm ambushing myself can do an ambush on me? What are these rules? Wow, that thing died instantly. I kept accidentally disengaging when I was actually just trying to walk my characters around. I was trying to attack the enemy, but they kept disappearing right before I clicked on them, which led to me basically giving my characters disengage orders. Oh no! Get them off that back line. That's dangerous. Okay, Adair, get around. What is happening to you right now? Oh, petrified. Wow. All incoming damage goes up. That's not a common one for me to see. Nope, we're good. No, we're not. Now we're good. Rocks choked the tunnel mouth as if caved in, or was purposely collapsed some time ago. Bonus damage to flanked targets. Oops. Those almost seem relevant to her. She have boots on yet? She does. Move speed, yeah. Flanked targets. I do feel like to flank you basically need to be a melee character. Oh wow. My main character just doesn't have boots on right now, so I guess that makes that pretty easy. So yeah, if you're engaged with the same target as some of the other dudes, you'll get some bonus flanking damage. That turned out to be an easy call. I'm constantly surprised by how many people don't have certain slots full, whereas there's a glut of too many items for certain other characters. But it's because of the fact that they're all just stat bonuses. I know armor is usually stat bonuses, but in this game in particular, only one piece of equipment affects your defenses. And almost every other slot is just like a series of really specific passives, so you can go surprisingly long finding goals for each item to still have a bunch of them not ever get used on your main character. Sigil of the Helm. Carvings on one side of the stone disc depict a helm. On its back, a single protrusion pokes out of its expertly polished surface. Have I found other ones of those yet? Alright, that's a lot of items. Wow. No. Looks pretty alone. A helm icon. We could check the workshop. The person whose mind I read had reference to there being a dial that they could have used, but it was in the workshop. There we go. So she had the workshop key. Or they had the workshop key. And they had what they needed to potentially save themselves, but it was only back in the workshop, and at that point there was a barricade between them and that, and everything was going to shit. So they couldn't act on that. Oh. That's a lot of ice. Oh yeah, there's an opening over here. There's access to the surface. Wait. That's actually kind of funny. That means that there was a way into Durgan's battery from outside, and all this time people have been agonizing over finding an entrance, and there was actually an entrance. That wasn't the hard way in. There was just an opening. I mean, this is a lot of trolls. It's not great news, all things considered, but it's there. Not psyched about your flanking you're doing over here, so if I could blind you, that'd be nice. Okay, Maneha. Got a bit of more flanking happening here. I think we could release some help on. You seem to be good at destroying dogs, apparently. God damn. Let's injure this. Yeah. Big spike on top guy. Oh, you never blinded yet. Let's go for the ice troll. Wow, you have... Okay. You apparently have to get pretty close to set that off. Let's go make sure that he gets his dues. There we go. Oh, yeah. Because he's got, like, no... Yeah, he's blinded, and he's got no deflect... He's got minus 25 deflection? That's a pretty big boss kill. Nice. I'm not using a lot of Jaskier's abilities these days. I kind of just let him chant. Partly that his new chants are so long that it's relatively rare for him to have the amount of stacks to even use his higher level stuff. But also it kind of pays to let him stack, because if something does go wrong, then that level 5 chant being ready means I can do an AoE revive. Which is a good get out of Jail free card. These scrolls catalog quantities of ore and minerals taken from the mines. Tempered helm. +3 might for +20 seconds per kill. +5 damage reduction, -5 deflection. So every time you get a kill, you gain 3 might, gain 5 DR, lose 5 deflection, and every time you get another kill, 20 seconds are added to the duration. The hell of a thing to put on your big scary people. 25 defense against hobbled, stuck, and paralyzed, charmed, confused, dominated. This helm is dented and scratched. It looks like it's seen plenty of rough use. It's comfortable enough, but when you put it on, you feel a powerful rage start to descend on you. I'm not sure who needs helms right now. Ah, you can use a helm. You can use a helm. You technically do more damage. But you go into rage mode. Yeah, she's all about frenzy style mechanics, so having a helm that just adds to the frenzy seems fitting enough. A freezing draft filters through the collapsed wall. It looks as if something broke through from the outside. Yeah, that's probably about right. A stone dial. This thick circle of dark stone is intricately engraved with various strange symbols. A small stone protrusion rises from the center of the outer edge, pointing inward. We have a few different dials now. Technically one dial and one sigil, which might serve different purposes. There might be 3 sigils that match up with the room that had the mace in it. Whereas there might just be the one dial for the other room. Hello. And hide. We did it. Rogue abilities. I don't think she can contribute to flanked as a ranged character. Smoke cloud creates a small cloud of smoke that leaves adjacent enemies distracted for a short duration. A lot of distracted outcomes. I think that's because it matches up with their other ability. Fearsome strike. The rogue attempts to greatly hinder an opponent by targeting areas crucially important to their ability to fight, inflicting extra damage as well as weakening and hobbling the target. Death blows. Allows the rogue to size up a target's battlefield position, making sneak attack more effective when the target is afflicted by 2 or more conditions that allow a sneak attack. Wow. Plus 100% damage and range damage. Let's double check something. Just to be sure we're talking about the right ability. Yeah. So this is somebody who's blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralyzed, petrified, prone, stuck, stunned, or weakened. They get 50% damage. So if they have if they have 2 or more afflictions, then you get double damage? That's huge. And also probably not that uncommon. I have a lot of different effects stacking here from different characters. It's also something I can do on purpose against a main boss. If I'm trying to really do damage to them, I can go all in. Yeah, I think death blows is going to be really hard to beat. Sneak attack is like the core ability of the rogue. So having it double is a lot. And then I already have a weapon that adds to it, so that means if somebody has 2 negative effects on them that are on that list, she does 225% damage. This is starting to get into the territory of like Oblivion, I think. I think it was Elder Scrolls Oblivion where I started learning how the sneak attacks work. It's like, this will give you double damage, this will give you triple damage, or you start doing stuff like using a bow to do a sneak attack at long range from behind on an enemy and it'd be like 6 times damage. You're like, excuse me? Why is that even an option for the math to be like, what? I remember having my moments of like, why would anyone play not rogue once I saw how high the damage multipliers could get. I really should have snuck around. Technically, I can still pull them in. Yeah. There we go. I did not want to get stuck fighting single file when they mostly have ranged attacks most likely, and I do not. Now they're in deep shit. Get them, tiny dragons. Fuck them up. They'll never stand a chance. And my backline is stunned. Does not seem to matter too much. Oh. Rude.
Get out of here!
Rude. Rude. Can you bring them to us? Nope, they're still out of range. Nope. Looks like we're right back to fighting single file after all. Single fire. I'm good at remembering the words right and say the things. Oh, what a pain in the ass. Oh, they're immune to this effect, aren't they? Whoops. Oh, this is agony. I don't think they stand much of a chance, though. It's just kind of agony. Gotcha. Bom, bom. I would like to be reading the bestiary. It's just hard to remember which ones I've read before. In my case, I've only read like 2 of them, so the answer is most of them are new. I'm speaking more just the fact that, like, if I had a system, I would like to go through them all. Although I am already doing the letters. There's a lot to read in this game. The Battery Guards. The fate of the dwarves of Durgan's Battery remained a mystery to scholars for 200 years. What little was known indicated that the dwarves had been divided by a great disagreement among their commandants. They locked the doors of the battery and never emerged again. These skeletons are the size of dwarves, and the armor they wear was once of excellent quality, much like the legendary Durgan steel. Unlike most skeletons, they fight in organized battle formations. Their skill and discipline in battle makes them formidable foes, as does their sturdy armor. These are all just the stats? Yeah. I was gonna look into the things that we've been fighting, the battery sirens, but those are probably just listed under siren, actually. So they probably don't have any unique dialogue about this place, instead being general comments about sirens. I'm curious whether we can use this yet. The stone disc in the socket. At first, the disc does not seem to fit, until it is oriented a specific way. You hear a quiet click of casings as it sinks into place. Nothing appears to happen right away. On the disc itself, an arrow-shaped protrusion points north. As you turn away, you hear a faint grinding of stone. The dial faces north once more. Okay, so here's the story. North, west, south, east. I suppose it's easy to do. So north, west, counterclockwise. South, counterclockwise. East, counterclockwise. Push. Oh, do I need to press at each one? Like, counterclockwise? Push. Nope, the dial spins out of your hand. It makes a complete revolution, and then it rises so that it's flush with the rings once more. A cold wind from the south reached old Valia in the west, and bore our parents east to seek the White Forge in the north. That's the version of the narrative where it seems to flow as a sentence. South, west, east, north. How do I get from west to east, though? Southwest, east, north. Ah. You push the disc as the arrow points south. You feel a satisfying thunk, and notice the dial has sunk a fraction of an inch into the depression. The door is still locked, but it feels like a step in the right direction. Okay, so that's how you go from west to east, is that you press to input each answer. I thought pressing it might be the ending. So, clockwise. You press the disc as the arrow points north. At first, nothing seems to happen, but after a few seconds have passed, the disc recedes deeper into the socket. You hear a clunk and a rattle of chains, and the doorway nearby swings open. The way is clear. Hey, so I already solved it. I already solved the riddle last episode, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's when I discussed that answer. Now we know. And it goes deeper down. I've got so many side paths to check. So one, there's the question of like, hey, is there stuff to do here? I don't know if my helmet thing affects these guys. This is the one that has the unusually shiny helmet, right? Sigil of Helm. You hold the symbol in place, matching its protrusions against the holes in the circular depression. They align perfectly. A gentle push is enough to slide the symbol into its receptacle. You hear a faint clicking sound behind the stone wall. That is the helm-oriented one. Yeah. I guess this guy has a hammer, this guy has a shield, this guy has a sword, and this one specifically has a gleaming helm, which was really, that stood out. I guess that's where you put that. So I guess, yeah, I guess I found the first one. I just need to find 2 other sigils. That's kind of an answer. Just gotta make up my mind where I want to go next, because there is these minecart tunnels up here. This is the foundry. That's probably the next place I have to go for the story. Who knows where these tunnels lead, where the cart leads me. And also I need to go back out to the first area and go up the second floor, or wherever that tower leads me. But for now, we're closing out an episode, so let's go ahead and find something to read. Hustle, hustle. Rushing to a place to then wait. So it goes. The many faces of Barath. How fitting that we know the god of cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability as Barath, while the Valians know this very same god as Kurono. If nothing else, Barath teaches us that duality exists in all things. There is life in death, and death in life. Embrace this duality, and you honor Barath. In the ruins, Iarglanfath, Barath is depicted in the form of two semi-skeletal figures, one male, one female. Baunin e Anq and Anq e Baunin, literally life and death and life, in the Glenfathan tongue. Male and female, inside and outside, life and death. We often think of Barath as by imagining two sides of coin, or two ends of points of journey. It's said that Barath has the most petitioners of every god, and is likely true. Who amongst us has not prayed for the cycle to hiccup? Who has not, in a moment of sadness, yelled at Barath to make an exception for our fallen loved ones? Barath may not rescue our loved ones, but it answers our prayers in its own divine way. Barath is the god that makes life end in death, and it is also the god that makes death end in life. Barath, Sirono, Belnen e Anq e Benen. Whichever of the many names you prefer to use deserves our prayers, for it has given us the promise of life's eternal renewal.